Hello, this is Jessica. I just want to share with you my PowerPoint for chapter 2. Let me share with you my screen. Let's see. There you go. Right here. So this is the Creating Literacy Instruction for All Students, the 10th edition 2019. Author Thomas G. Gunning and presented by Jessica, by myself. Okay, there you go. Okay, and then one of the questions, okay, so let me share this with you first. It says the principles for teaching economically disadvantaged children. So we need to provide, build, create, make, and counteract. One of the questions that, while I was reading this, one of the questions that came up was that I wonder what children are doing right now, those who are in poverty. Well, how are they impacted by COVID? If anyone knows how the state of Washington, those children are doing or how they're impacted, if you can comment down below, that would be great under the video. That would be something that, that's a question that I wondered. In my preschool, where I work at, we don't have technology for those who are doing in-home learning. We just send them activities and resources, but that's it. We don't do any Zoom. So that's how I wonder, how are they impacted, those who are in poverty? And then if we keep going, another question was what is learning disabilities? That's a really good question. What is it? What is learning disabilities? If you ask one person and then you ask another person, I don't think they will give you the same answer. Everyone has their own definition of learning disabilities. But the one that is most commonly used, as I found out in this book, it says specific learning disability means a disorder in one or more of the basic psychological processes involved in understanding or in using language, spoken or written, which disorder may manifest itself in an imperfect ability to listen, think, speak, read, write, spell, or to do mathematical calculations. So I wonder, I don't know if you guys also wonder, oh, what is learning disabilities? What is it to you? I wonder, what is it to you? What is it learning disability? Because on the book it talked, about being doing the ADHD, the dyslexia. It talked about those other learning disabilities, which is there's also reading disabilities and there's intellectual disabilities, right? And then you also on the book I found interesting the fostering literacy for English learners. So they recommend that those who are learning English should learn how to read first in their native language, while at the same time teaching them to speak English as a second language. So we don't teach them right away to learn English and then read English. We first try to straighten their native language by reading first in their native language, and then in the meantime, teach them how to speak English, and then later it's the reading for English. It makes sense. That makes sense. All right, we talked about that earlier. Also, it also talks about techniques for developing English. So I really appreciate this part of the book because it tells you about what techniques you can use. And so one of those that jumped out of the textbook for me was the word walls because we've been talking about that for a while now. So that one came up, I was like, whoa, oh yeah, word walls, there you go again, right? So it really is a good technique. And so I put one example right here, the monthly vocabulary word wall words. And so what I would have liked more was that if the wording came before the picture. I would have liked that a lot more. But the word walls is a great technique. You know, the children are able to connect the wording with a visual aid, something that they be able to look back at and be like, oh yeah, that's a tree, that's an apple, you know, but those who are learning English. Yeah. And even those who aren't learning English, word walls are just a great technique. Okay. And then I also thought it was interesting, you know, the role of response to intervention. So, you know, it talks about the screening. They can be administered 3 times a year. That was like, whoa. I was like, oh, no, that's cool, you know, because I didn't know that. And so I was like, oh, wow, that's great to know. That's good to know. And then he talks about, you know, you monitor. And then another word that just popped out of the textbook was collaboration, because that's what it's all about. As an educator, we don't work by ourselves, we collaborate with different people. And so so this one is just like, oh, wow, you know, the collaboration, that's strong and it's true. That's what we need as an educator. We need to be able to collaborate with different people, with families, with children also, right? Not only with the people that you work with. Okay. And then, you know, we have the multicultural, culturally responsive approach to teaching all students. Basically, all this book is telling you is that you need to be aware about different cultures. It's rising. There's a lot of different cultures out there, and then we should be acquainted and we should be aware of it. All right. That's what makes, I think, learning so rich, because it's just so different for everybody. There's so much culture. There's different people who speak different languages, who learn, you know, there's also students who learn differently, who, you know, there's just so many different things. I think that's what makes the education program so enriching. That's what I think. And it's really great that, you know, we get to experience that and that we get to learn all these different cultures and all these different techniques and approaches that we can do to better help our children, right? And then again, the collaborative teaching needs to be collaborative. Okay, that's the key word. I think that's what I got also from, you know, from the book. So there's a lot of things that are in the book, and then I had questions. You know, what is a learning disability to you? What is it? Do you have your own definition, or is there a definition you agree more on than others? What is it to you? That's my question. All right. Well, thank you so much. That is all my intake from the chapter, from chapter 2. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And I have questions, you know, like that. And also, you know, how are, you know, those in poverty, how are they impacted right now due to COVID? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that they're impacted by right now. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, and bye-bye.